What it do, YouTube? It's SS, and I'm back with another video on this one right here. This one right here. Well, this one right here. Um, you can see my elo is a little bit lower, so I did end up tanking. I was running some teams up in Ultra League just because I was tired of the Sunshine Cup, and I didn't do any better in Ultra League. So as you guys see, right off the bat, we're hard countered. Then they end up swapping out to the Cobalion, so we're even more hard countered. But I did do these battles on Twitch. If you guys want to follow me on Twitch and watch these battles happen in real time. Link in the description. Go follow me over there. Also, the link to the Discord will be in the description as well. If you guys do want to join the Discord, like I said, we do battles up in there. So, whatever you guys like. And so, for the people that do say that, there's people that told me that my videos are fake. My videos are not fake. These are legit videos. Like I said, you can go to Twitch and watch them happen in real time. And not only that, so I did leave this set right here. This is a bad set. I did go like 2, 3. I think there's a battle missing. I'm not sure why. But there's a battle missing. Um, I don't know. I don't know how that happened. But as you guys will see, I do end up changing out Gallade. I was running Gallade at first, but then I did end up switching it out to the A Muck, the Lowland Muck. As you guys see, I'm hard countered here, and I can't really do anything. They do catch on their Cobalion, which is fine, but there's literally nothing I can do here. I'm down 2 shields, and all they have to do here is just shield, and then weaken my. Oh, they already had a move. They're gonna go ahead and throw again, and yeah, I throw this, but they're gonna shield. Yep, and then they get to another move, and my Galade's not gonna be able to do anything. So yeah, so I was getting hard walled with Galade, so I ended up switching it for a Lowland Muck because it just has a lot better play. To be honest, there's a lot of Giratinas and stuff, Cresselias, Charizards. Yeah. So we see Charizard in the lead, and I'm just gonna go up. They go for the extras, so that means they're at 8. They're not at 7. So I'm just gonna keep going ahead and farming up extra energy. I'm gonna let this go through. It is the blast burn. Always throw the blast burn. There's no reason for them to bait. Umbreon is way too bulky for them to be baiting. So I am gonna swap out here, and then their Charizard is gonna blast me again, which is fine. And then I'm assuming that they're gonna shield this because they know I can't much shot them down, so they do end up shielding, which is fine. And then at this point, I'm gonna go ahead and let this go because it's most likely gonna be a Dragon Claw. They just want my shield, and I'm not gonna give them my shield, so I'm gonna go ahead and go for the body slam here. And now at the point they do let it go through. In the back is a Garatina, and this is not looking really good because Umbreon is already halfway down. So I'm gonna go for the crunch. They do let it go through. I'm trying to get to another move. I thought about shielding there. Maybe I should have. But either way, I go ahead and let it go through. Coming to my Umbreon, they're gonna try to catch on their Cafable, and this is looking pretty bad for us. I'm gonna go ahead and let this go through because I don't think it's a Moonblast. It is a Psychic, so it is neutral damage to us. I'm gonna go ahead and go for the Leaf Blade. Do they want to shield? And no, they don't want to shield, which is okay for me, I guess. I'm gonna go ahead and shield this, and then I think I just go for the 2 shield farm down. I do believe because they might get to another move. They don't get to another move, which is fine. I'm gonna go straight for the close combat here because I want them to get less energy. And now at this point, they are gonna be able to farm me down. I am at a move. They're gonna throw their ancient powers. Most likely, it is the ancient power. I'm gonna do one and throw, and then we're gonna see what they want to do. Do they want to shield? They don't want to shield. In that case, since they don't want to shield, I'm gonna go ahead and shield this as well. Could be Dragon Claw. It is the ancient power. They're trying to go for the boost, and at this point, I'm gonna be able to actually farm down completely and win that game. Somehow we ended up winning. Now we're gonna see Umbreon into Alolan Muck. Um, this is I don't really like this matchup just because they can go poison, they can go acid spray, and then they can go dark pulse after that. So let's see. I'll go for the last resort. They do acid spray me, and then they're not getting the shield. I'm gonna farm up. I'm gonna go for the extra one here, the extra move. They do throw on bad timing. I do believe that was. And either way, I'm gonna go ahead and go for the last resort. They do go for the dark pulse, like I was saying. And then at this point, I do think that they're just gonna go for. I go on bad timing because I do want to throw my last resort before they throw their move. They do end up shielding there, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and let this go through. This is most likely the acid spray. I'm way too low, so they can just do that. Then at this point, I'm gonna come in with my Gallade. I'm gonna go ahead and take this move. Acid spray. It is the acid spray, and then I'm gonna try to farm down, but I can't get the farm down because I know they're gonna get to another move. So I'm just gonna go ahead and snipe it with my Greedent, and then at this point, I already know what's in the back. Yeah, I already know what's in the back. So, you guys will see in a bit. And I'm just gonna spam out these body slams as I get a call right there. Don't know what happened, but yeah, whatever. That was weird. And then now I'm gonna go ahead and shield this, and yeah, obviously it was a surf. They're just gonna go straight surf at this point, and then I'm gonna go ahead and try to get to the next move. I do get to the next move, but I think they win CMP. This is just gonna be a surf as well. They do go for the surf. It is CMP, so I'm gonna go ahead and KO this Tapu Fini. They come into Garatina, and at this point, this game's over. There's nothing I can do. So, uh, do I top left is the question. Am I going to top left? Surely I do end up top left in here soon. Yep, there we go. So, yeah. And then here we go. This is where I end up switching it. I do keep this so you guys can see. Apparently, my videos are fake. So, yeah. And now, Umbreon into Charizard. I dislike Charizard so much. I'm just gonna top left. Oh, that's probably that's why. That's probably why there was only 4 battles. I end up top left in that one. So I didn't want to play out the Charizard because Charizard's just I don't like Charizard. So then now we're gonna see Umbreon into a Skeldridge. This is an okay matchup, but they do have Disarming Voice, which is super effective. It is non-stab though, so we'll see what how I play this out. They are gonna go for the Disarming Voice. I'm gonna do one. I could have went, but if I did the good timing, then I would have actually ended up going for let's see, what do I do here? I throw right away, assuming that they're probably not gonna shield here, and they don't shield, which is fine. Then they come into a glide score. I'm gonna go ahead and go for the next foul play, and then are they going to let me get to the next one? They're gonna throw. I do believe this is just a nice slash. It is nice slash, so I'm gonna be able to actually under tap and then throw my foul play. Are they going to shield? They're not gonna shield, which is fine with me. And at this point, I'm gonna come into greed, and I could just spam out these body slams. They are gonna throw another nice slash. I do believe it is. It is a nice slash, so I'm gonna farm up, and then just because I know this is not gonna KO, I do believe no, it's not gonna KO, which is fine. So now I'm gonna go ahead and let this go because they're only throwing dice slashes at this point, and I'm going to try to snipe them with my Alolan Mug, but in the back they have a jelly. They thought about the same thing, switching out. He tried to catch the body slam, but unfortunate for him, he didn't catch the body slam. As you guys see, we go 2-3 there, and now after this is I do go 9-1 here in these last 2 sets. Do they go for the superpower? No, they don't, which is fine with me. Now I'm gonna go for the foul play, and I'm gonna farm up extra. I'm gonna try to CMP them, but they don't let me CMP. And I know this is gonna be the superpower now, but I do end up letting it go through. Now, if they want to shield, they will shield, but if they don't, they don't. And then at this point, I try to get my move off, and it doesn't let me get my move off. It actually does another fast move, which kind of sucks for me, but that is fine. So now I'm gonna come into my greed and hoping that they don't have focus blast. Most of the time they don't have focus blast. As this one's running the new move that I got in access to in season 16, which is Trailblaze. Go for the crunch, hoping I can get the debuff. I don't get the debuff, and that's fine. So now I'm gonna go ahead and let this go through. It's just a thunder punch, and then now they're gonna come into a Charizard. I do believe that is probably a Charizard, and it is a Charizard. We do get the defense fall this time, and at this point, I can safely shield this. It is a blast burn, and now I'm gonna try to farm down completely. We do get the farm down, and then now at this point, I can just go straight for these acid sprays because I know that they have the shield, and they do end up shielding an acid spray. I'm gonna go ahead and go for the next acid spray, and they're gonna shield this as well. And it feels bad for them because they didn't shield any move, so I'm gonna go ahead and let this go through because I know I can live this. And yep, and they got new mechanic there, and we're gonna end up taking that game. Now we're gonna see Umbreon into Jellicent. This is really good for us. And chat was telling me, they were like, "Yo, what about a fighter?" I was like, "Nobody runs fighters in Ultra League," and we actually got lucky and didn't see any fighters except for this pseudo fighter here. But either way, that's fine. I was thinking they went for the earthquake, but they baited me. I knew they were gonna bait me, but yeah. It is still a safe shield. And now I'm just gonna go for the acid spray again. If they want to earthquake me for sure, this time they will end up shielding, and I'm just gonna go ahead and let this go through. But I already know that they're just gonna go ahead and nuke me, and they do nuke me, which is fine. So now I can come into my Umbreon, get all this farm, and I do get the farm. And now they're gonna come into a Swampert. This is fine because we have another answer to that Jellicent in the back. Greedent is going to be able to wall it because of the normal typing, so they can't throw Shadow Balls at us. So that is really good for us. And Greedent's super tanky. And at this point, they let me get to another move. I don't know why. And then I'm just going to swap out into my Greedent here. No, I don't. Okay, I let this go through. And then I'm going to swap out into my Greedent. I do believe, yep, we go for the Greedent. They're going to throw another Hydro Cannon, which is fine. And now at this point, I'm going to go straight for the farm down. They swap out. And then I'm going to go for the Crunch on this Jellicent. And do we get the debuff? We do get the debuff. Trying to throw in good timing. I do get the good timing next crunch. It's gonna do a lot of damage. And then my chat was like, "This body slam it," and I was like, "No," but I probably could have body slammed it. And they ended up giving up anyways, so they knew it was over for them. And then now we're gonna hop into the next battle. We're gonna see Umbreon into a Charizard. So this time I don't tap left. I actually do end up playing it out because I know that Alolan Mug can actually put in some work against this Charizard. I've seen it do it before. Like I said, they're always gonna go for the Blast Sprint, so I'm just gonna go for the Nice Slash, or not the Nice Slash, but the Foul Play. And then now they're gonna catch it on Greninja. Very good play. So at this point, I'm gonna go ahead and switch out into my Alolan Mug. Probably shouldn't have went to Alolan Mug, but either way, I have to kind of come into Alolan Mug because I just want to start throwing out these acid sprays. I know they're probably not going to shield, which is fine. Makes it easier for me to farm down. I can let this go through. It's probably another Hydro Cannon, but I can't really shield it at this point. And they do end up letting it go through. At this point, I'm expecting them that they're going to not shield because they're thinking it's a bait. And guess what? We don't bait them, so I'm going to go ahead and let this go through. Hoping this is Dragon Claw. It is Dragon Claw. And then now in the back, they have Cresselia. And this Cresselia is just gonna get walled by all three of these Pokemon. So I'm gonna switch out into my Greedent at this point, and then now I'm gonna go ahead and let this go through. I thought about shielding the first one because it's obviously gonna be the Moonblast. They're not gonna bait me. Well, usually they don't bait on the first move, right? But I'm just gonna go ahead and let this go through as well. Probably another Moonblast, but it is what it is. And then now I do get to the next crunch here. Do they want to shield is the question. They don't want to shield. They're getting super, super low. And at this point, they realize that the game is over. So they're going to end up top lefting, which is a good game. Now we're going to see Umbreon into a Tapu Fini. This is not good for us, right? I'm going to go into my Squirrel, my Greedent, and then I'm going to start spamming out these body slams. I'm expecting there to be a Registeel or some type of steel in the back, but they're not swapping out. I'm gonna go ahead and let this go through, hoping it's not the Moonblast. It is just a Surf. So they are baiting here. I don't understand why they're baiting, but they're baiting. And then now I'm gonna go for the body slam. We're getting this Tapu Fini so low. This next body slam is gonna bring them down into the red if they don't shield. They come into a Skeldridge, and because I assumed that they were gonna want me to throw them bad timing, but unfortunate for them, I actually know how to throw them good timing. And now I thought about shielding this, but I'm just gonna go ahead and let this go through. And now at this point, I can come into my Umbreon. I know this is a disarming voice. It's gonna hurt, but that is fine. And then now we're gonna get hit with another disarming voice, but they don't throw. So now I'm gonna throw my Foul Play. They let it go through, which is fine. I'm gonna go ahead and let this go through as well. And then they're gonna swap. I knew that they were gonna swap, but I didn't really think they would, but they did. And we're gonna be able to switch out into our Alolan Muck, and at this point they just top left. So a lot of top lefts, as you guys can see. Ooh, what do we do here? We probably end up losing this, right? So let's see. I'm staying in for a bit, hoping that they don't have a struct. Let's see, do they have a struct? They don't have a struct. Obstruct. They do end up going for the cross chop, so I'm gonna go for the Nice Slash. And at this point, I am gonna end up swapping out soon. Try to catch the move on my Alolan Mug. They go for the Nice Slash this time, so they baited me trying to actually try to get my shield. because maybe they thought I was gonna shield. Now they go for the cross chop, which is fine. I'm gonna go ahead and throw the acid spray, but I probably should have over farmed a little bit more. And because now they can end up swapping out, they come into jelly, and I have no reason to bait here, so I'm just gonna go straight for the baits. Not the baits, straight for the nuke, the dark pulse, obviously. So I'm going to throw it. They do let it go through, which is fine. Now at this point they have to throw their energy, which is fine. So I'm gonna go ahead and let this go through. And then now I come into Umbreon, and I don't want to CMP them, so I end up throwing pretty after two snarls because they were three hexes away from the next surf. So now I'm gonna try to swap out here at this point. I do end up letting this go through. I know it's gonna be a cross chop because they already showed this cross chop, and they have no reason not to throw cross chop at my Umbreon at this point. It is super low. And now at this point, I am going to shield this, and then I'm going to try to farm down completely. Much shot, but in the back is a Charizard, and this is where it's my turn to top left now. And yeah, I didn't want them to throw, so I just ended up top left, dude. And I do believe we end up going 4-1. And then in the next set we do go 5-0. The last battle, I do believe the last battle I would have won, um, because they were running a spicy team. But yeah, as you guys can see, we get a bad lead, and so I'm gonna go into my squirrel, my Greedent, and they're gonna come out into an obstacle, which is fine. So I'm gonna go ahead and straight go for these body slams. Thought about going for crunch, hoping to get a debuff, but I think that's wishful thinking. So I'm just gonna go straight for these body slams, guaranteed damage. And then they're gonna throw on CMP, which is fine. So I'm gonna go ahead and let it go through. If it's a cross chop, it is a cross chop, but it's not a cross chop. It is actually the obstruct, which is okay, but now the next body slam is not going to KO. At this point, I expect them to go for the Night Slash, and they do go for the Night Slash. I do make it to the next body slam, which is good for me, so I'm going to go ahead and throw this. But unfortunate for them, or unfortunate for me, they do end up living, but I do get some farm off of my Alolan Muck, and in the back, they actually have a Typhlosion. So I'm going to go for the bait because I'm expecting them to shield, but they don't shield. And then now I'm gonna go ahead and try to catch because my Umbreon is pretty much dead weight here. And then they do come into the Togekiss. They end up throwing what is appears to be CMP, and this is just an aerial ace, so we can live that. And now at this point, I'm gonna go at this last resort off. They no shield, which is fine. And now I'm gonna go ahead and get come back into my Alolan Muck as it is my last Pokemon. I'm gonna go for the Acid Spray. Know that they're not gonna shield. And then now at this point, I need to throw on good timing. I don't think that was good timing, but either way, um, I think I could have did one more poison jab, but it's fine though, because now at this point I can shield this and then just go straight for the farm down and win. GG's. And now we're gonna hop into the next battle. We're gonna see Umbreon into Garatina. This is where we want to see it. But either way, all three of our Pokemon are actually really good up against this Garatina. And I go for the extra. They do throw in bad timing there. They go for the ancient power and they get the boost. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. That's cool. Now I'm gonna go for the foul play. Do they want to shield? They don't want to shield. Now that is fine. They throw in bad timing, give me a free snarl for free. And now we're gonna go for the next foul play. Um, they're staying in, which is really weird. So maybe Umbreon has good play. So that means that the back Pokemon in the back do have play as well. Because if it is a Cresselia, then we can actually do some damage to it. So at this point, they do end up letting it go through, and it's a Registeel. So what do we do for this Registeel? We're just gonna keep throwing out these moves. I'm gonna hope that I can get to another foul play here. And sadly for the Registeel, they're gonna have to throw nukes because it only has nukes, and they throw right away, recognizing that they only have nukes. So they are gonna focus blast me. I'm gonna come into my Greedent at this point. I'm gonna go for the crunch, hoping I can get the debuff here. And let's see, do we get the debuff? We don't get the debuff, which is fine. So now I'm gonna go ahead and let this go through. If it's a Zap Cannon, it's fine. If it's a Focus Blast, all good as well. And now at this point, I am going to go for the next crunch. Do they want to shield? They don't want to shield. And now I'm hoping I can get to the body slam to force a shield here. Do they want to shield? They do want to shield. And at this point, I'm just going to go ahead and let this go through. And now I'm going to come into my Alolan Muck. And yeah, this they saved the Reggie Steel, which is fine for with me. And now they're gonna go for a grass knot here. Didn't even go up to the Moonblast, which is pretty funny. But either way, I'm gonna go for the Dark Pulse here, expecting them to no shield. They no shield, and then now at this point, I'm going to no shield as well. It is the Moonblast this time, and now I'm just gonna go for the bait here because at this point they have to shield, and they do end up shielding. And now I am gonna go for the CMP tie here, and we do get the CMP on the acid spray. This acid spray should be enough to actually KO this Cresselia at this point. And look at the clock. We're timing out. They had a super bulky team, and we actually end up winning despite their 3 legendary Pokemon. So pretty funny. And we 2 shield flexed on them. So now we're going to see a Alolan Sand Slash into our Umbreon, which is pretty okay, I guess. Umbreon is super tanky, so he can definitely take these drill runs, ice punch, whatever they throw. It is a drill run, as you guys see. Actually, doesn't really do that much damage. So I'm gonna go for the next foul play. They do let it go through. They try to catch. They do catch. They get a free fast move, which is fine. I'm gonna come into my Alolan Muck at this point. Let it go through. They just throw liquidation. I'm expecting them not to shield because they think I'm gonna bait, and unfortunate for them, I don't bait. And now I'm going to be able to farm down completely, and then they come into a Sand Slash, back into their Sand Slash. So I'm gonna go ahead and let this go through. That is fine. And now I wanted the farm down. They stopped tapping for a bit there because I think they kind of realized that this game was over. And now at this point, I'm just gonna be chunking out these crunches, and they know they can't shield the first one because if they do shield the first one, they might end up getting debuffed, and then the next ones will actually hurt. Then they won't have no shields for the next ones, so they do end up. I'm thinking this is CMP. I remember this battle. I'm thinking the CMP, but it's not CMP. So I don't know why, but it wasn't CMP. Now this one is actually CMP. So they do have to shield it. They do want to preserve that Jellicent. They do preserve the Jellicent. I'm going to let this go through. If it's a nice punch, that is fine. I think we barely KO. And now at this point, I'm just going to go for the straight farm down. I don't mind whatever they throw. It is what it is. It's a nice punch. Do they make it to another move? They don't make it to another move. And at this point, I am at the crunch. So I'm just going to throw the crunch. And then we don't get a debuff. And then now I'm just going to go straight for the next crunch. And it's going to be a good game. We win with 2 shields again. Now we're going to see. This is the final match. No, no, not yet. I think there's 2 more. This one and then one more. So we're gonna see Dragonite. The first one baited me, but I'm expecting this one to not bait since it's Shadow, and they don't bait. Then they end up swapping out into a Charizard. Guess what? We're gonna go ahead and go for this foul play. It is a Shadow, so since it's Shadow, I'm expecting that I can shield this. If it's the Blast Burn, I can farm down completely before they get to another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they end up actually KOing. We KO them with the blast burn, and they are not able to get it off. Feels bad. And I'm expecting them to think that I'm gonna bait here, so we're not gonna go for the bait. We're gonna go for the dark post, and then now they're gonna have to shield this acid spray, and I undercharge it just in case they don't shield. And they actually do end up shielding, and it's gonna be enough to KO. In the back they have a Tapu Fini, and I'm just gonna go straight for the acid spray in this point. Now I'm just gonna switch out because I want to preserve those poison jabs, and I'm just gonna start chunking out these body slams. Do they want to shield? They don't have a shield. Well, that's I didn't realize it. But anyways, this body slam should be enough to KO at this point. And see, it is enough to KO, and we're gonna be able to take that game. So the next one is kind of a little. I'm not too sure. They just didn't tap. They thought they were gonna lose. I'm not too sure, but as you can see, they're not tapping, and then they come into a Tapu Bulu showing his shinies, but they are tapping now. And then now I'm gonna be able to farm down. They come into Reggie Gigas, so I don't know if they lagged or, but either way, it doesn't matter because I was still gonna end up winning. And at that point, they know the game's over. The only win con they have here is if I bait, but even if I bait, yeah, this game's over. So yeah, unfortunate for them that they were lagging. My bad, but Thank you for the 5-0 though. I don't think it mattered anyway because they were gonna end up losing. Those Pokemon are actually not the Pokemon you want to be running in the Ultra League. So if you guys did like the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Uh, I want to start leaving a goal, like goal. So if we could at least get 10, I'd be cool with 10. Maybe no, you know what? Let's make it 20. Let's try to make it 20 likes. The last video, a couple videos that I have been dropping, you guys have been leaving likes and comments, which I really do appreciate it. So I will see you guys on the next video.